Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, I am going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. If you are new to the channel, then welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Just so you're aware, I channel these collective readings every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for each of those reading videos, there is also an extended version of the reading on Patreon. So if you're listening and beginning to feel resonance with the messages and you'd like to get the additional pieces of information from the extended Patreon reading, the link to join our Patreon Soul Tribe will be in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video. So I'm going to start today by shuffling one of my oracle card decks. And while I'm shuffling, if you would like to channel a more specific message from the reading, I do recommend liking the video and subscribing to the channel, as these are forms of energetic transference that do tend to allow me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your situation. Okay, so as I was shuffling, I turned this deck to see what was at the bottom, and this was the marriage card. For some reason, I heard rock bottom. So someone you're connected to might be feeling as though they're at some kind of rock bottom in their life. For someone who is connecting with a person who might be married in some kind of a karmic sort of marriage, then it could be that someone's marriage feels like it's hit some kind of a rock bottom, or that some kind of contractual obligation has reached kind of its breaking point here. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a marriage, but this feels like something that could be very binding in terms of having some kind of contract or agreement in the physical world, and it's reached some kind of breaking point or ending point here. So this might be your energy. This could be someone that you're connected to. But what I'm getting here as well is that for some of you, if that's not resonating, this may actually be connecting as someone heavily thinking about marriage or wanting some kind of long-term commitment with you. But the fact that this card was at the bottom of the deck, I'm hearing for some reason they're subconsciously thinking about it, meaning it's like just always there with them, just like we carry our subconscious thoughts everywhere we go. But I feel like there's an element of secrecy around this as well, whether it's a sort of agreement or a marriage that's reached a rock bottom, or whether it's someone thinking about wanting a marriage or some kind of long-term connection with you. It feels very secretive. So with the card stuck, this is how this person is perceiving themselves as stuck. So again, if it's that marriage, they're feeling stuck within that marriage or long-term relationship. If it's thinking about wanting that with you, then it's almost like they are feeling like those thoughts about wanting marriage with you or wanting something long-term with you are inescapable, keeping them stuck in some way. But it's almost like their higher self is correcting me here to say, but it's not a negative thing. It's a very complex internal dynamic this person is dealing with, because while they feel very stuck on you, at the same time, they enjoy those thoughts about you that they keep within those secret places within themselves. It's almost like this sacred space within them that no one else is fully aware of, that you might not even be fully consciously aware of. And yet it's their safe haven. It is their sacred space internally. This person enjoys feeling stuck on you. Now, I keep hearing one thing converted into another thing, or one contract converted into another contract. So it's almost like someone here is in a karmic contract and they want to convert it into a divine contract. Now, of course, this could apply to some internal aspect of yourself. This might be you wanting to convert some aspect of your life that has felt heavy or karmic or lower vibrational, wanting to end that contract and convert it into this divine contract. For a person who's dealing with a karmic marriage or connection, the meaning here seems to be that they're wanting to end that long-term obligation that feels really karmic and shift onto this divine timeline, or convert that obligation into something that is, yes, long-term and stable and requires a commitment from them, but feels deeply aligned with their soul and with their true nature. By the way, I usually say this at the beginning of the videos, but in these readings, I do tend to channel many different people, connections, energies, and situations. And oftentimes, threads of energy come through that are very hyper-specific to certain groups or even individuals. So always be sure to use your intuition above all else to guide you not only through these readings, but of course through life as well. Your intuition is the compass of your life, and it's my goal through these readings to help you bring the unseen or the unknown, the unconscious within you into the light of consciousness, into the known realm. But of course, that's a deeply personal and individualized and internal process. So always honor that within yourself. But I'm going to go ahead and reshuffle the cards here and possibly pull from my traditional tarot and the energy oracle cards. So who here is feeling stuck? Okay, with the Nine of Cups reversed, I'm hearing drifting left me feeling shattered or left me feeling unfulfilled. What I'm really picking up is someone who never really defined what they wanted for themselves, their life, a connection, kind of drifted through it, and then ended up almost unconsciously, through this unconscious drifting, in a situation that felt really karmic, really heavy, possibly lower vibrational. And then suddenly they become hyper aware of what their heart really desires. And it creates this kind of pain within them, but it's not really a negative pain. It's the pain of being activated through this karmic situation to the realization consciously of what they really desire, and then waking up within that karmic situation and realizing the absence of that desire, feeling that longing. I'm almost picking up on a person who hasn't allowed themselves to really open up the realm of possibility and truly see themselves as unlimited and define what they desire from unlimited potentials. This is someone who might be dealing with a lot of lack mentality or limiting belief systems. But I feel like, again, this could be an internal aspect of yourself. Maybe you're being guided to really open up the realm of possibility or open your mind and really see yourself as the unlimited being that you are. But for many of you, I'm getting this as a person connected to you, and you came crashing into this person's world and somehow activated within them this conscious realization of what they really want and the awareness that it's possible. I'm hearing comfortably numb. It's almost like this person was comfortable in their numbness because they had convinced themselves that what they truly wanted wasn't possible, wouldn't be available to them. So they settled for less. But something about you crashing into this person's world has made it so inevitably clear that what they truly desire deep down, that they've been trying to repress, actually is possible and available to them. And that's creating a kind of pain, but it's the pain of this activation. Now, for many of you, this could be romantic. You may have come into someone's world romantically and activated within them this realization that you hold these traits that they've subconsciously desired in love, in connection, but not really realized were possible in a person or in a connection until meeting you. For others of you, this might be the way that you've activated one or even many other people to desire more for themselves or their life, to really define their true heart's desires and dreams in life. But it's coming through this pain of activation where they see within you or within your life the realization of certain desires that they themselves have been subconsciously rejecting or repressing. It's like you bring all of those subconscious desires, those repressed desires to the surface in other people. And this can be extremely triggering, but simultaneously expansive because it's expanding their mind, expanding their belief in what is possible and available to them. But it's also amplifying the contrast, the realization that they, yes, have the ability to manifest those desires, but that they haven't yet aligned with them. Okay, so what else can I channel about this person or situation? We have the Chariot reversed. Yeah, once again, this gives me that drifting energy, that lack of direction, feeling powerless. This may even be someone who's been dealing with some kind of a victim mentality. I feel like this is a person who experienced some kind of rejection wound or abandonment wound, possibly early in their life or in some early connection. And I'm just seeing something really affecting their sacral chakra. And whatever this was, it's what caused them to start subconsciously repressing what they really wanted or what they really desired. I'm hearing for the sake of getting along with other people, to the point where they almost reached a point where they were so comfortably numb, as we were saying earlier, that they may have even convinced themselves entirely that they had no dreams, that they had no desires. Okay, what else can I channel here about this very specific energy? Okay, so this is interesting. For some reason, I heard an unemployed soul connection, but what I got from that wording, yes, someone might be unemployed here or looking for some kind of job or occupation, but I actually felt that for many of you, this is symbolically representing that there is some powerful soul connection here that's actually represented by the Lovers card that I just pulled, that isn't living up to its full potential or fully expressing itself in the physical world, with the Five of Pentacles reversed. This could be a love connection with this person here who's been feeling really stuck, drifting in their life. And that might be why this romantic connection isn't fully expressing itself in the physical world here. The Ace of Swords came out, but I almost heard like cutting through the noise or cutting through the dissonant frequencies. That was the word I was looking for here. I feel that this Ace of Swords, while this is a really positive card from a higher level perspective, it may have involved something that was very emotionally painful at the human bird's eye, or not bird's eye, on the ground perspective. From the bird's eye level, this was some kind of a breakthrough. It was some kind of I'm hearing possibly a necessary break. It's almost like the cutting apart of a connection, some kind of energetic severing taking place here. Like I just see this sword kind of severing something energetically. And yet from a higher level, this was a powerful breakthrough. And from the ground, being in the middle of it, it may have felt like some unexpected disconnect or some kind of separation here. I'm hearing what feels like a severing is really a breakthrough. Now, maybe you know how this applies to you or some aspect of your life personally. Maybe this connects directly to this connection. I'm hearing take back your crown. This might be you really reclaiming your conscious sense of your own divinity, of your own royal status in the spiritual realm. And maybe somehow the way that this powerful love connection was manifesting itself in the physical world, which wasn't fully living up to its true potential. Maybe something about this was causing you to disempower yourself or to not be fully expressing your own royal divine nature. And it's almost like this Ace of Swords comes in to sever some kind of tie and allow you to be freed to fully embody that highest potential in your own life. But I do feel that this came with some kind of ending here with the Ten of Swords in the upright position. And it may have been a divine masculine here involved in this ending. If you are resonating here more so as the divine feminine, then this person you're connecting with may be a divine masculine coming up in the Sun card reversed, meaning someone who is dealing with a lot of heavy wounded energy in their own field, in their own life, who may have kind of put an end to something in this connection. I'm hearing in their unconscious state, they may have been the one to do the severing or to put an end to something here. But ultimately, it was for the higher level purpose of allowing you, divine feminine, to fully embody your highest potential. Now, I know that these labels, divine feminine and divine masculine, might be reversed for some of you listening. We all have a balance of both energies within us. So whenever I use these labels, it could connect to an internal aspect of yourself or to some external person, relationship, or connection. But I want to know what's going on in this masculine's energy or in their mind. Okay, we have the Six of Cups. So this is a masculine feeling extremely nostalgic. Something may have happened with their immediate family that required them to visit home or to move back home or to connect more deeply with immediate family members than they usually do, or at the very least to cause them to reflect more on their childhood or on their family. Now, of course, that won't be the case for everyone. That's a pretty specific message. But with the Four of Swords in the reverse position, it's funny, I listen to myself while I'm recording just to make sure that the sound is lining up correctly. And it suddenly struck me that I had the volume turned down. So I turned the volume up a little bit so that I could hear better. And I'm getting that this isn't coincidental because this masculine is turning up the volume on something. I'm hearing their intuition is turning up the volume internally. They are not being allowed to ignore something anymore or to hide from something anymore that they've been subconsciously knowing all along. And that is that you are the Queen of Cups, that you are this empathic, nurturing, divine being. I'm hearing a being of love who feels very deeply. And that because you are the Queen of Cups, you are requiring a masculine in their King of Wands energy, someone who's, I'm hearing very decisive, very sure, because whatever caused this connection to be severed in the physical world or to be disconnected in some way, I do feel it had to do in part with something not being clear within this masculine. Maybe they weren't communicating clearly. Maybe they were feeling very foggy internally about you, about the connection, and you were intuitively picking up on that. Maybe something was just very confusing. I just feel as though something wasn't clear, or that they were in a very wishy-washy, like back and forth, indecisive kind of energy. And that's ultimately why something here had to be severed. But what they're now realizing, as their intuition turns up the volume here, is that because you are the Queen of Cups, you require a King of Wands in this instance to match your energy. I feel like you were pouring out into this person emotionally, mentally, energetically, giving to them and always coming up empty. And ultimately, this imbalanced equation had to be rebalanced. It couldn't remain in that sort of dynamic. So regardless of what it looked like when things disconnected between you or got out of sorts, regardless of who apparently did the disconnecting in the physical or whether it just happened in the world somehow, it doesn't really matter what the circumstances were, because the actual reason that disconnect occurred was because it needed to at a divine level, because there was an unbalanced equation taking place between you as the Queen of Cups and this masculine who was more so in his Sun card reversed energy. I feel that the state he was in was actually beginning to affect you and your energy as well, and keeping you feeling stuck in some sense. Okay, so what else is this specific masculine thinking about? So what they're thinking about doing may actually surprise you with the Four of Cups in the reverse position. This is someone actually thinking about how they want to seize some kind of opportunity, how they don't want to be living in regret anymore. They want to move forward in a more positive direction. What is this opportunity that this masculine wants to seize? I do feel that for many of you, this does have to do with you. Yeah, we have the High Priestess. I'm hearing I'm coming back for you, High Priestess. I'm not done with this yet. This might look very finished in the physical world, and yet I feel this masculine soul saying, I'm not finished here yet. It's almost like putting this on the back burner so they can circle back around to it once they're in this Ace of Pentacles energy more firmly, which is them feeling more confidence, more of a sense of success, establishment. Maybe they're starting something new in their life or starting down a new pathway that they're looking to become more established in, either financially or when it comes to the workplace or their life generally. But I see that I'm hearing my eyes never left you, even as we've been physically apart. With the High Priestess card, I'm hearing haunted by your spiritual presence. This masculine has felt haunted by your spiritual presence. And I'm hearing intentionally losing opportunities. Like this is someone who may have been presented with opportunities to connect with other feminines since the two of you disconnected, but they've been intentionally missing or losing these opportunities because, quite frankly, they don't see any value in them in comparison to you. And again, it's like your essence is haunting them. The High Priestess is haunting this person here. So I'm going to go ahead and reshuffle the cards here, but while I'm shuffling, I want to let you know that in the extended reading, I will be going deeper into what this masculine is thinking and feeling, how this situation could potentially move forward between you into the future, and any spirit guide or higher self messages for you personally related to this situation. So the link to join me in the extended reading is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. But for now, I'm going to open up the reading and channel through any spirit guide or higher self messages that want to come through here. And of course, right away at the bottom of the Work Your Light Oracle is take a break. a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. So I'm hearing that life might be forcefully slowing you down. These aren't coincidences. If you find that certain things happen in your life or during your day that are almost forcing you to pause or forcing you to take life at a slower pace, that is because I'm hearing you may be allowing your rhythm to be guided externally or your pace to be set externally, rather than allowing your pace to be set by the thumping of your own heart, the rhythm of your own heart. I'm definitely hearing something about allowing yourself to fully attune to your physical body, to really get in touch with how you are feeling internally, developing a deeper awareness and more conscious connection with your physical body. So this could be physically taking a break for someone, allowing yourself more rest, more time and space. I'm also hearing that your energy generally requires a lot of space. Now, that might be literal physical space. I'm hearing breathing room. This might be needing time alone physically in a space apart from others or apart from the chaos of the world. This could be internal space. So this might be going periods of time where you aren't necessarily communicating heavily with others externally, even using technologies, because you are focused on holding that space internally that then allows you to sustain an energetic environment that is facilitating your soul's purpose here on earth, whatever that is for you personally. I feel there's some intricate connection between your purpose, your mission as a soul, which of course is highly unique to you, and only you can know what that means for you personally. But there's a deep connection between that and this space that you create around yourself. This space could be time. Maybe this is simply allowing yourself more time to rest between endeavors or between times of creation. Can I get more information about this soul's purpose here? Imrama, what are you being called to journey to and where? I feel like this is some kind of inner journey. This may be an inner journey of exploring what really causes you to feel passionate with the card Starseed, what lights you up. Because what I'm getting is that when you're feeling a passion for something, an exhilaration, an excitement in following a certain path, that is you allowing yourself to follow a very unique and individualized training course of sorts for your own unique soul's purpose and path here on earth. And your credentials are that you were brave enough to listen to that internal heart-thumping rhythm and to follow out those passions, following that pace and internal rhythm instead of the pace that others try to impose upon you. Can I get more information here on what this person needs to know? Okay, so with the Three of Cups reversed, there's something about feeling a bit antisocial, or maybe feeling as though other people might be talking about you or triggered by you in some way. If this is happening for you, the reason you are triggering others is because I'm hearing your mere presence energetically confronts and challenges and begins to break down the limiting belief systems held within others. Even if you are completely silent, just your presence exudes a frequency that naturally begins to break down limiting beliefs in other people. So maybe part of what you're being called to explore is what places and spaces you're feeling guided to be present in. And this may even be somewhere very locally. This could be walking around your local area or on a nature trail or driving a different direction than you usually do, going to a certain store or cafe. It doesn't have to necessarily be what we consider a far distance geographically, although of course that may be the case for some of you as well. But know that if you're called to be present in a place and you can't really understand logically why, it may not even be so much someone you need to meet there or something you need to say or do there, as much as you being energetically present in that space and therefore exuding a frequency that has a powerful impact on the people that have the privilege of interacting with your energy or being present in that space with you. We also have the King of Cups reversed. So this is connecting with some kind of potentially wounded masculine energy. This person could be dealing with some form of addiction, although it doesn't have to be a literal addiction. It could be an emotional addiction, a mental addiction, an addiction to a negative relationship. This feels like someone who has a low level of emotional intelligence. So this could be a friend, a family member, a romantic situation. What can I channel about this King of Cups? What do we need to know? Okay, so this is someone who seems to not be planning for the future. It's like they're limiting themselves because there are certain things that need to be released in their life that they are kind of stubbornly holding on to. And with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, what I'm getting from this is that life is going to continue to be a feedback loop for this person. So there's nothing really for you to do when it comes to them. You might have some sense of obligation or responsibility towards them that you're actually being asked to release, to focus on yourself and your own path and your own alignment, because life is going to continue teaching this person through seeing the results of their behavior or the kind of energy they're putting out into the world. And it feels like this has to be their lesson to learn here until ultimately it's almost like they're going through this deep, gradual activation into the Emperor, but it's a progression and it's taking what might look to be physical time. Of course, time is really an illusion and doesn't exist as we understand it at a higher level. But in the physical world, it may be looking as though this is a very slow activation, but trust that it is occurring. Trust that it's happening steadily and gradually, but I keep hearing feedback loop, like this person is meant to be in their current feedback loop, and you are meant to be releasing any heavy sense of obligation or responsibility you have for them. Life is ultimately going to teach them, and gradually they are meant to be activated into this Emperor. I'm going to reshuffle the cards here. So I want to pull a few final thoughts to close out the reading, but of course, in the extended version of the reading, we will be channeling what I mentioned earlier, but also we'll be taking a look at anyone or anything else that might be connected to your aura, to your energy at this time. And I'll also be channeling any other messages or pieces of information that want to come through the reading. So if you do feel a resonance here and you'd like to join our beautiful Patreon Soul Tribe and get access not only to this extended reading, but to all of the previous reading videos as well, the link to join is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. The final thoughts we're going to pull here are going to be from the Rumi Oracle. I always love closing out the readings this way. So what is one final powerful message, empowering message for the beautiful souls listening here? The Lion and the Deer. This is actually a card we pulled in the last reading. I can't remember if it was the main YouTube reading or the one on Patreon, but I know this card did come out at some point in that reading. So this must be a carryover energy that holds still some kind of significant message for someone. And the guidebook here says, you are being asked to bear the chaos of rediscovery. It may be that talents from this or other lifetimes are reawakened and cause you some discomfort at first, even though they ultimately will bring joy and greater fulfillment. The discomfort may be around how those talents are best expressed, about overcoming shame, guilt, doubt, or other judgments. It may even be about who you are if you now admit your talent or other emerging personality traits. Maybe what is being unearthed in you now is darker, your sacred rage, refusal to accept disrespect in your life, your inability to tolerate lies and deceptions. Well then, you are the lion and the deer. This is nature. There is to be both in this world. You are not becoming contradictory or hypocritical. You are becoming whole. So that feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. Thank you so much for sharing your energy here. And of course, for being such a powerful co-creator here just by being present virtually. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon extended reading underneath the video if you feel guided to listen to more details and pieces of information related to the reading. Of course, if you do resonate generally with the energy on the channel, I invite you to subscribe, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, where I post more energy updates, inspiration, and information. Otherwise, I am sending you all huge amounts of love and light energy. Have a wonderful remainder of your day and week, and I will connect with you here again in Friday's reading.